The 7 stages of human psychology development, from birth to death. Opening. From the moment we are born, our journey through life is shaped not just by our biology but by our psychology. As we grow, our emotional world expands, our sense of self evolves, and we navigate through the challenges of life, changing not just physically, but psychologically as well. Today, we are going to explore the 7 stages of human life through the lens of psychological development. From the innocent joy of infancy to the wisdom of old age, we will discover how the mind evolves at every stage of life, shaping who we are and how we relate to the world around us. Stage 1, Infancy, birth to 2 years, the foundation of trust. In infancy, we enter the world with no understanding of it. We are born into a state of dependency, unable to speak, walk, or care for ourselves. But psychologically, this is where our first foundational lesson begins: trust. During the first 2 years of life, infants rely completely on their caregivers. Their psychological development is centered around whether their needs for food, comfort, and safety are met. Erik Erikson, a famous developmental psychologist, called this the trust versus mistrust stage. When caregivers are consistent and responsive, the infant learns to trust the world and the people in it. This trust is the foundation for future emotional and social development. But if those needs are unmet, or if caregivers are inconsistent or neglectful, the infant may develop a sense of mistrust that can carry into later life. In this stage, the soul of a child is born, and its future perception of relationships and safety is rooted in these early experiences. Stage 2, Early Childhood, 2 to 6 years, the emergence of self. As children grow, their sense of self begins to emerge. This is the stage where they start saying, I, and mine. This marks the beginning of their individuality and independence. Jean Piaget, another influential psychologist, called this the pre-operational stage of cognitive development. Children start to explore the world through play, learning to navigate the environment around them. In terms of psychological development, this is when children begin to understand ownership, boundaries, and the concept of social rules. During this stage, a child's self-esteem begins to form. Are they encouraged to explore? Are their efforts celebrated? Or are they made to feel ashamed of their mistakes? Children who receive positive reinforcement and experience healthy socialization develop a strong sense of self-worth. However, negative experiences, like constant criticism or neglect, can lead to insecurity and a fragile self-esteem that can impact their future. Stage 3, Middle Childhood, 6 to 12 years, social and moral development. In this stage, children begin to expand their world beyond the family. They enter school, develop friendships, and begin to understand complex emotions like empathy and guilt. This is the stage of moral development, as children start to understand the difference between right and wrong. Psychologically, they move into Erikson's industry versus inferiority stage. Success in school and in relationships boosts a child's sense of competence, while failure can lead to feelings of inferiority. The key challenge here is whether children can learn to master skills and receive acknowledgement for their efforts. As children grow older, they start to understand abstract concepts like justice and fairness. They begin to question the world around them, becoming more aware of societal expectations and the views of others. The sense of belonging becomes increasingly important in this stage. Friendships Beck. Stage 4, Adolescence, 12 to 18 years, Identity Crisis. Adolescence is the stage when the soul of a person is put to the test. This is the period where teenagers search for identity, often feeling torn between childhood and adulthood. Erikson's stage of identity versus role confusion describes this period perfectly. Adolescents begin to question who they are, their values, their beliefs, and their place in the world. The key task here is identity formation, which involves understanding one's personal beliefs, career aspirations, and social roles. During this stage, adolescents may experience deep psychological conflict. Peer pressure, hormonal changes, and societal expectations contribute to feelings of confusion and self-doubt. Many teens also grapple with body image issues and the desire to fit in. While some teenagers emerge from this stage with a clear sense of self, others may struggle with confusion and insecurity that can affect their sense of direction in life. The relationships they form with their peers and role models during this time play a significant role in their psychological development. Stage 5, Young Adulthood, 18 to 40 years, the search for intimacy. Young adulthood is a period of transition from the chaos of adolescence to the responsibility of adulthood. The primary psychological challenge here is intimacy versus isolation, as described by Erikson. This is the time when individuals search for deep emotional connections, not only in romantic relationships but also in friendships and professional partnerships. Psychologically, this stage is about building intimate bonds and understanding interpersonal dynamics. For many, this is when they enter the workforce, build careers, and explore their purpose in life. They ask themselves, what kind of person do I want to be? What kind of impact do I want to make? At this stage, a person's psychological development is often influenced by their ability to create healthy, stable relationships and by their profession. Stage 6, Middle Adulthood, 40 to 65 years, Reflection and Generativity. Middle adulthood is a time when individuals reflect on their lives. They may ask themselves, have I accomplished what I wanted to? They may face a midlife crisis, a period of intense self-reflection and re-evaluation. Erikson's stage of generativity versus stagnation describes this phase. Generativity refers to the desire to contribute to society and leave a legacy, whether through raising children, contributing to the community, or making a difference in the workplace. Stagnation, on the other hand, occurs when a person feels disconnected from the world, disconnected from others, or unfulfilled by their achievements. Psychologically, this stage is about finding new meaning in life. Some people may experience a sense of purpose, whereas others may struggle with the realization that life is finite. The way a person handles these existential questions can significantly affect their emotional well-being in the later years. Stage 7, Late Adulthood, 65 plus years, Integrity and Acceptance. In the final stage of life, individuals reflect on their journey. This is a time when people face the realities of aging, loss, and ultimately, death. Erikson's stage of integrity versus despair encapsulates this period. People in this stage reflect on the life they've lived and either feel a sense of satisfaction and integrity, or they feel regret and despair about unfulfilled dreams. This is the time when many individuals seek peace and acceptance. It's a time to forgive oneself for past mistakes and find meaning in their life's journey. The psychological task is to come to terms with one's own mortality and find wisdom in the process. Conclusion. The 7 stages of human life aren't just physical changes, they're psychological transformations that shape who we are. From trust in infancy to wisdom in old age, each stage challenges us to grow, to adapt, and to understand who we are and what we want from life. Psychologically,